The All Blacks and the Springboks have clashed on 68 occasions since 1921, but surprisingly just 4 of those games have been played here at Loftus Versfeld in Pretoria. It's a ground that's treated the All Blacks well. After losing in 1970, they've recorded wins in 1996, 1999, and again in 2003 when Reuben Thorne led them to a record-breaking victory. Well, it's a perfect afternoon here in Pretoria, sunny and warm, and just a light breeze swirling about. A lot of rain earlier in the week, but that's well behind us now. Ground conditions will be absolutely perfect. Capacity here at Loftus, 50,000 at this famous ground. It's filling fast. It first became a test venue, surprisingly, as late as 1955, the last of South Africa's great test rugby stadiums to come into commission. Well, the All Blacks have the Phillips Tri-Nations and the Bledisloe Cup in the bag, but they haven't won here in South Africa for a couple of years, and they haven't won here under Graham Henry. So there's plenty of incentive for them as they prepare for this ground. And joining me in the commentary this afternoon, former All Black Murray Mexted, and Mex, really perfect conditions for this game.
Yes, I'm delighted to be here again at Loftus, what a field. Actually walking across it just a few minutes ago, Nisbah, it's actually quite soft for Loftus. It's normally like a cricket pitch, as hard as rock, you know, but there's a bit of give in it. So, and there's a bit of wind swirling too, which we don't normally have much of up here on the high veld. So it adds a little dimension to the game.
And a man on the sideline today is Tony Johnson. And, well, Tony, we can only really repeat, I suppose, conditions couldn't be better. But what about the wind at ground level?
Well, Nisbah, we don't normally get wind like this when we come to Loftus, and it's quite brisk and quite blustery. It's a real stadium breeze. It seems to be going left to right on screen, but it is blowing around, and it's going to be quite awkward for the players to judge. Altitude obviously is a key factor when you come to Loftus, but I think on this occasion the effects of the altitude might be slightly offset because of the rain that we had early on in the week. There's still quite a lot of moisture in the ground, also quite a lot in the air, so it's not that dry, scratchy heat that you normally get, which of course has the players, their throats burning by 15-20 minutes to go in the game. So conditions, well, almost perfect. The wind is going to be a factor, and also the sun, which is very bright. That could be a factor too under the high ball early on.
Okay, well, you can see the entertainment taking place. Shouldn't be too long before the players emerge. And, well, TJ, I know you talked to Graham Henry before the game, and I just detected he was perhaps a little nervous. And so was Jake White, who had actually admitted to it.
Yes, Jake White definitely nervous because obviously the pressure's building on him with 4 straight losses, a campaign as coach that started so well from now hit a few potholes, particularly with the chronic injury situation. Graham Henry, well, he realises that he hasn't won a test here, and I think he wants it badly, and he just, I guess, needs his players to keep their composure, particularly in the first 20-25 minutes when he knows that the Springboks are just going to absolutely tear into them.
So it's a beautiful stadium here at Loftus. It perhaps hasn't been upgraded like some of the other stadiums, but it's got a real rugby feel about it, Murray.
It has indeed. It's a true rugby ground, actually. I remember when I first played here, I thought this was the biggest rugby stadium I'd ever seen in my life, and it's the same about 20 years later. But it's still got this really incredible feel about it. And you do feel like you're playing in a little bit of a fortress, but I think it's more the mentality or the nature of the spectator here. They're certainly intense. Most of them have been drinking brandy and coke for about 3 or 4 hours before this game, so they're not seeing as clearly, and they're certainly not thinking as clearly as they used to or they normally do. So I think that sort of adds to the intensity of the occasion.
So it's not too long before we see the emergence of the two teams for this 69th clash between these two great rugby nations. The All Blacks have been forging ahead in recent years in terms of matches won.
Welcome to those who have travelled a long way to support the team in black, and especially more welcome on this beautiful...
So just a bit of a delay before we get them on the park. Fair bit of talk, Murray, as there has been all season, about the number of changes the All Blacks have made for this game.
Yes, particularly here in the newspapers, the journalists in South Africa and the man on the street, in fact, they're saying, you know, is this an insult to South Africa? Well, we don't see it that way, do we? We see it as though we've got a team of 29 players now, and that they are adjusted depending on the game. And and trying to develop those two quality players in each position. I think Graham Henry's his plan is vindicated, because we're certainly doing that. And so, I mean, nobody thinks that this All Black team is a second-rate team. It'll take some beating, I'd say, especially seeing the team themselves have got that win thing going on. They are used to winning now.
So here come the All Blacks to be led out once again by Richie McCaw. There are New Zealand supporters tours over here, but I think they'll be drowned out by most of the crowd here. So the All Blacks onto the field at Loftus. And a huge change in personnel from 7 days ago at Eden Park, but there are a couple of constants in Dan Carter and Richie McCaw, and also Mills Muliaina, who slots in at centre after playing fullback against the Wallabies. Sitiveni Sivivatu makes his first test appearance of the season after battling back from injury, while in the pack, South African-born Greg Rawlinson plays against his countrymen for the first time. Also in the pack, two former All Black skippers, both victorious as captains in this country, Reuben Thorne and Anton Oliver. So the All Blacks have gone to our left. And TJ, does that mean into the wind or with it?
It should mean with the wind, Nisbo, but as I say, it's not a true straight down the ground wind in that it hits the stadiums and swirls around a wee bit, but definitely they will have the advantage. What advantage there is in this breeze, they will have it in the first half. Interesting too, Nisbo, quite a few gaps in the crowd. It's not at capacity. I'd never thought I'd live to see the day where that happened at Loftus.
Well, I think if you look in 5 minutes, it might be okay, Tony. I think they've left it a bit late to get to their seats.
Yeah, when you see two squares where the people aren't, they're obviously groups.
And now the welcome for John Smith and the Springboks. Despite having a tough season so far, plenty of support for them. Similar Springbok side to the one that played against the All Blacks in Wellington a month ago. However, a couple of key changes, notably in midfield. Jean de Villiers finally gotten over his injury worries, plays at second 5'8". De Villiers and Fourie form a dangerous midfield combination. And in the pack, Pierre Spies is a third choice after both Johan Smith and Jovan Neerkirk dropped out during the last couple of days. And Springbok captain John Smith playing his 58th test today, his 37th on the trot. So the players moving to the centre for the national anthems, and both of them will be presented by the Melodia Unisa Chorale.
Please stand. The national anthems will be sung by the Melodia Unisa Chorale under the direction of Tendela Vokwana.
Well, it's a wonderful national anthem, and you hear it being sung in the streets around Loftus prior to this match. Interesting to see the Springboks with their tracksuit trousers on. I've never seen that on the high felt before. I wonder if it's because they want to have something to do following the haka, like the Australians, of course, last week.
Fair bit of competition around for the haka, with some of the crowd indulging in ole, ole, ole. And what a special moment too for Greg Rawlinson as he did the haka in front of his fellow countrymen. Special welcome to our viewers around the world viewing this in all parts. Huge international audience tuning into Loftus Versfeld here in Pretoria as the All Blacks and the Springboks prepare to do battle for the 69th time since 1921. Just a few gaps in the crowd you can see, and the odd square there, which gives the impression that the tour group failed to show.
Yeah, we had an accident on the way to the match, but they're still streaming in, of course, pretty casual. Well, the Boks now with their tracksuits off and their white shorts, as we expect to see them. Yes, this is going to be an onslaught from the kickoff. I'd be very surprised if it wasn't a 15-metre kick with those Springbok forwards tearing into whoever receives it.
One of the key men, Dan Carter. Another key man is referee Alan Lewis of Ireland, Chris White of England, and Hugh Watkins of Wales running the touch. And Alan Lewis, who lasted the All Blacks at Twickenham at the end of last year against England, checking to see that everybody's ready, and they are indeed ready. And Butch James gets the test match underway. It's gone high, and Richie McCaw couldn't grab it, and it's been immediately taken down by Pierre Spies whipped away. Osteront tried to get rid of it, but it was offside against Dan Carter. The All Blacks made a mistake from the kickoff, and they may well pay for it.
Well, they did. You've got to gather that ball, but
Offside.
there's always going to be an onslaught. I thought Daniel Carter roared up very, very quickly, and and from where I'm sitting, he didn't look like he was offside to me, but it's a great start for South Africa anyway. They hit New Zealand, disrupted the ball, produced it, moved it, and now they've got a very kickable penalty, about 30 metres out, almost in front.
Well, the All Blacks normally do a pretty good job of protecting the man who's about to take the ball. They didn't do it on that occasion, and Richie McCaw had 3 players on him as he took it.
So an early opportunity here for Percy Montgomery, and the penalty kick is over, and the Springboks lead in the first minute by 3 points to 0.
Well, the last time that they hit their straps right on kickoff was against Australia a couple of weeks ago, and they played very well for that game. In fact, they deserved to win it. It was a great kickoff, I will say, by Montgomery. It sat high, it gave them plenty of time to get underneath it.
So here's the All Blacks kicking off, and Carter goes long. He might have gone
Too long.
Oh dear, a couple of early mistakes by a couple of key players, and back to halfway they go.
Just come this way, come this way.
Well, I recall this time 12 months ago in Cape Town, and Daniel Carter, for the first time in his career, I think, made a couple of mistakes.
South Africa off the mark, please.
Springboks certainly know how to put pressure on players.
Well, when they're kicking that way, Murray, the combined effects of the wind and the altitude, the ball's going to go a lot further than it normally does.
So the scrummage, which has been
quickly,
a huge part of the New Zealand success this season. Here's Greg Somerville on this near side against Osteront.
Stand up.
Well, 2 old campaigners, that's for sure.
Let's hit up straight. Number 3. Let's do. Come on.
Yes,
Work
Oss
together.
in his 68th
Crouch
Test
and
match
hold.
since 1994 on debut. Greg Somerville, Test number 55 for him, and another penalty. And it looks like he's gone to the loose head side. Namia Tialata
Angle.
going in on an angle, and Montgomery will have another shot. Remember, we're at altitude here, the ball will sail, and I'd be surprised if Montgomery doesn't have a shot at goal.
No.
Or somebody else, Butch James
Butch
perhaps.
James.
He just came in on the angle. He started square, then he came in on the angle. Yeah, he was up, he was up.
Well,
Make sure to hit up.
Alan Lewis.
And hit up and stay
Yes,
up.
I remember him in the
If he
second
comes
half,
in the angle,
particularly
it's okay.
All Blacks versus England at Twickenham. I thought he buckled under the pressure, but he started with a couple of questionable penalties, in my opinion.
Ambitious kick this. He's into a stiff breeze.
Here we go. The kick. It certainly got the distance. And it's accurate. So a penalty goal by Butch James. 6 points to 0 on the back of 2 mistakes by the All Blacks.
You'd have to say that's exactly what South Africa wanted. A real morale booster for them. They've had 2 opportunities and they've succeeded twice.
Dan Carter then. This time goes a little shorter. All Blacks haven't really had a feel of the ball yet as the Springboks let that one bounce. Finally picked up by Cronje.
And released.
And they should get it back. And the clearance is made by Montgomery on that educated left boot of his. And a good clearance too. Takes it down outside the 22 by 15 metres.
Well, only a few years ago,
good space,
Montgomery used to get booed here because he
Keep that
certainly
space.
wasn't that typical Afrikaans rugby player that they expect up here on the high felt, but now they seem to love him.
Taken down. Good first up throw by Anton Oliver. Dragged by Ali Williams.
Down.
First time the All Blacks have had a bit of a go with the ball as Oliver charges round.
Hands off, South Africa.
Now it's there for Wepu. Clears it away for Carter. The impasse goes to Gear. Tried to throw it back and field to Ruben Thorne. And it didn't go forward. The All Blacks still under control. as Wepu prepares to dig it out. Fires it off to Leon McDonald. Now Carter, but he's well contained. 4 or 5 green jerseys there.
Hands off, South Africa! Hands off!
And he told them, hands off.
No, he's gonna rock.
The hands were in
I
there.
called it.
So a chance now for the All Blacks.
Good strength by Carter to stay on his feet initially against some big men trying to wrap him up, including that fellow there.
Number 6.
Well, I reckon that's a tuck call also for South Africa. I mean, they were up in the air, and that was a really, really effective defensive line South Africa had. Closed round Carter, stopped him clearing it. I mean, actually intentionally keeping him on his feet there. He went down. Yeah, there might have been an arm on the ball there.
Dan Carter, last time he played against the Springboks, perfect. Here he is. First kick out to Loftus, and it's a beautiful kick from Carter. So the goal kicking early in the match is 100%, 6 points to 3, the Springboks lead.
His composure seems to be his middle name, Daniel Carter. Remarkable, really. Richie McCaw, an on-form player.
Well, wonder whether they'll kick the ball to McCaw again.
Yeah, they will, won't they?
Yes, they have. Waits again and oh no, didn't get it. Once again he knocks it on. And the Springboks have got an opportunity here as they get it away to Fourie. Here's Jean de Villiers, taken down by Ruben Thorne in a good tackle. The ball was loose and picked up by Williams, but he's driven across the touchline.
Ball was out. You're fine.
So some concerns from the
You're
kickoffs.
Fine. He was fine. He was fine.
Yeah, well, the ball was sitting up there, and there didn't seem to be the support
space,
underneath the high ball where McCaw was standing.
One out.
Smith to throw. 7 minutes gone, first half. Matfield near the back, dragged it down easily. Now Osteron has, but it slips out to Dupria. And away goes the little halfback. They're 15 metres away from the All Black line.
Don't touch, don't touch. Stay on. Hands off, two. No, it's okay. He's fine.
Well, arms in the air. It certainly worked for England back in November. But this time Alan Lewis didn't buy it.
Oh, great work by Anton Oliver Nisbo. He was the man who ripped the ball away.
He was fine. I'm not having
and they were all standing around claiming a penalty.
He targeted it though, Tony. Oh, what a great camera angle to show
Hold
it.
on.
Because he came right from the back. He could not be criticised of not joining from the back. That's the key thing. The ball was available to be poached, and he poached it.
Just a little delay here. I think Johan Muller's had a bit of a smack in the nose.
Wouldn't have been the first one up here.
Yeah.
Well, you had a little interview with Frick
Marginal
Dupree
there.
yesterday, didn't you,
On the
Tony?
Oh,
job.
what a
To
great
make sure he
experience
comes
that
down.
was, Murray. One of the all-time greats of the game, and looking forward to seeing that one go to air. Had a great half an hour with the big man.
So play to resume, and John Smith again. And this one, it slipped through Cronier's grasp. Snapped up by McCaw. Now Carter. Oh, he got hit hard and late and high by Matfield. Exactly as what happened at Newlands. Have a look how high this is.
But the interesting thing was that he kicked the ball dead as well, so the scrum was right back inside the
Yeah, a bit of a scrap on here.
Back up. Back off.
Where are the touch judges?
Well, they saw it. That was right in front of them.
5.
He wants to talk to Matfield.
Are you 4? Just settle down. 2. Just settle down, please. Don't
me.
talk like that. Don't talk like that. Crouch and hold. No.
Well, maybe the standards have been
Engage.
set. Dropped in by Dupria. Cronje off the back. Dupria goes. A bit of space here for Ndungani. Chased across by Sivi Batu, who nails him. But the Springboks have made good grounds.
Oh, McCaw, brilliant. McDonald down heavily.
And here's a try coming up. Blacks caught on the blind side. And once again, it's the little halfback.
Well, it was great play, South Africa, really. They spread the ball wide. Sitivatu, I thought, was caught too far in. So they got over the advantage line. McCaw's positional play was brilliant. You'll see it from this picture. He went down. McCaw came in from behind, snaffled the ball beautifully. And then it went loose, and there was no one on the short side. Well, big match on here for New Zealand. South Africa scoring, real morale booster. Montgomery with a relatively easy kick. If he kicks it, it's a good lead.
And he's pushed it across in front, but 11 points to 3. And Furi Dupria, who scored that try in the first 30 seconds in Wellington. Just have a look at it here. Ndungani makes good grounds, but the All Blacks appear as though they stole it. It came back, it was untidy, and Wepu didn't get time to get down and get his hands on the ball, and it was gone. So the kickoff is made, 11 points to 3. Dupria tries to make a kick, and it bounces back into the arms of
Hands off, 7!
Matfield.
Okay, stay on.
Now back for Montgomery, challenged by Reuben Thorne. And this kick might be thrown quickly by Chris Marsoe. It is. Away for Rico Gear. McDonald has recovered.
Retreat.
No, he's not. He's kicked it away.
Okay.
And he's clasping onto his thigh. He's really in trouble. He's gone down in a heap, Leon McDonald, as play continues near the 22. And a penalty against the All Blacks. And I don't think Leon McDonald is going to stay.
Number 1, straight over.
Well, it's all going South Africa's way at the moment.
It's okay.
No, he's gone, for sure.
Okay.
Let's have a little look at it. He kicked,
Take time
and
out
he
for
grabbed
that,
at his
please,
hip.
Eric.
Significant pain.
Has someone come on?
Oh,
Okay,
in
wait
fact, you
till he
could
leaves the
almost
field.
feel it, couldn't you, before he kicked the ball.
Isaiah Toiava on. So he'll go to centre. And Mills Muliaina to fullback.
Here we are.
So it's not going the All Blacks' way in the first 11 minutes of this game. 11 points to 3. Isaiah Toiava into the
Okay, just keep
midfield.
communicating on those.
So Mills
Just come up with
Muliaina,
space.
who's psyched himself
South
up
Africa
all
off the
week
space.
to play in the centres,
4.
finds himself back at fullback
One
after
out,
11
out.
minutes.
9 out. He's out.
Well, the crowd's very attentive.
Stay.
Good line-out work again by the Springboks. They've got any number of targets. They're big men. Now getting a drive on the All Blacks and looking pretty organised. Chibalika has it at the back now. Dupria makes the kick. Rico Gear looking into the sun, but he's now in the shadows. Habana comes through. And the referee's playing an advantage. Crowd getting a bit excited, but there was a knock on by Habana as he came through.
But it was a great chase. An incredible chase.
It was a great kick, Murray. It was a great kick. It came down just a centimetres inside the touchline.
Wait, please.
Yes, the All Black
Nothing
team
early.
certainly hustled and bustled at the
Outside
moment.
hole. Engage.
It's the Springbok game, isn't it? The ball was put up in the air, the chase was on, the heat was on. We were just sort of sitting, it was right in front of our commentary position,
Both sides
which
stand
is
up.
way down near the end of the field, but we could see it perfectly. It was a great jump for the ball.
The engagement
Those sort
process
of
I'm
things
happy
often.
with. Okay? Make sure as a front row we hit square and stay up. The engagement process is fine. Engage.
So an All Black scrum, which is just twisting
Stay
a
on,
little
stay
bit.
on.
Back for
Okay.
the kick made by
Just be careful.
Wepu. And just out to the 22 it goes.
Not a great one. It's Springbok ball.
No, it's okay. 5.
14 minutes first half. All Blacks
okay.
contesting possession. Drops back Now here's Osteront with the ball, just near the 22-metre line, and there was a knock on. So a bit messy, but the All Blacks contesting, making it a little harder.
What did we talk about? What did we talk about?
Well, it was a good result for New Zealand. Opportunity to get out of deep inside their territory.
No ball. Stay
And
up.
of course, the
Stay up,
way
please.
this All Black team
Crouch
plays,
and
that
hold.
doesn't mean necessarily kicking the ball out of territory.
Change of formation here. McAllister in at first 5, but once again it twists, so it means that Wepu has to make the clearance, and this time much more distance as he takes it down towards halfway. Now there's trouble for Greg Somerville.
Take time. Injury. No.
And
in the best traditions of sportsmanship, the crowd cheers.
Look
And
serious.
there's some
Look
real
serious.
idiot in front of me who's cheering, standing up. I mean, why would you cheer a player dropping with an injury like that?
It's the ankle.
Time out.
Tony Woodcock standing by.
So, Tony, that would move Tialata to tight head.
I guess so, Murray.
Don't mind the intensity. If we have
Well,
a knock-on,
Well,
don't have anyone speak.
just starting to get into a bit of a hole here, aren't they? Just combination of factors.
Okay?
Injuries, mistakes. The penalties are certainly going one way at the moment. And this is going to be a real test of character. Or maybe a calf. Maybe he's blown a calf.
But he's had that problem before, Greg Somerville. And a little bit of concern shown there by his opposite number, Osteront, but there's no way he can stay on the field. So there's Leon McDonald, he's out of the game. Tony Woodcock is in already. And away goes Greg Somerville.
Half a metre.
Well, off the field, there's a whole lot of experience for this All Black side. Greg Somerville, 55 tests, that's a huge amount. And McDonald too, of
So
course.
play continues. Springboks in possession.
That's Big Oz there with the ball.
There's a fair bit of work going on off the ball too.
Stay up.
Yeah, but the Boks are getting over it.
Now Dupria again putting it high. Again Rico Gear waits. And Habana up challenging. Nicely cleared too by Rawlinson. The All Blacks now, this could open up a little if they can get it wide. Oh, Toyama couldn't hang on. Now Ndungani chasing and getting back and saving the day is
22.
Muliaina, and it's a 22 dropout. Boy, there was a chance there.
Oh, very big chance. If Toyava had held that pass, I reckon it was a try. It was beautifully done. It was Ali Williams who gathered the ball, and then it was moved. The big missed pass, and it was spilled. And it wasn't a bad pass. Those are the ones you've got to pick up. That's an opportunity lost.
Carter with the kick straight down to the try scorer. Dupria runs up and again. Waiting for this one is Marsoe and calls for the mark, and he's got it. Goes quickly, gets the pass off smartly to Wepu. Wepu weaving his way downfield, fired it away to Woodcock. He's got a bit of support there. Now he gives it to Gear. Here's Williams taking him towards the touchline. Really needed to try and veer back in field.
Well, the news from casualty ward is that Leon McDonald's got a big ice pack on his hip. I mean, obviously something's gone there. And Greg Somerville looks to me like he might have an Achilles problem.
All Blacks. All Blacks.
Well, he's had a bad run of injuries in the last couple of years, Greg Somerville. Worked hard to get back into it. So that is bad luck. That one's overthrown. Hacked ahead by Wepu. Not being able to pick it up was Chibalika. It's really untidy. Still waiting for an advantage, but there is none. So back we go.
No, it was an opportunity also. That one, there was loose, bobbly ball. Not able to be gathered by the All Blacks. But they've got a good attacking position here.
No ball.
Inside
Stay up.
Box
Stay up.
territory. There's a 15-metre blind side, and Rico Gears on the open side.
17 minutes gone. First
Stand
half.
up. Stand up. Listen.
So
Now my
all the
patience
New
is
Zealand
gonna wear
players
thin.
are on the open
My
side.
patience is going to wear thin, right? You've got to hit up and stay up. Two sides. Crouch and hold.
So the indication for me is that they'll move the ball to the left here.
Good solid All Black scrum, this one.
Twisting and in, number 1.
So he's got Osturant this
Twisting
time.
and in, number 1, yes. Back 10.
We might have thought advantage applied there.
Twisting.
But it
Twisting. Keep his angle square and straight.
No, you can't see it on camera there, but I think that is one of the areas that referees do attack in the scrum, is when a body twists. If it's not pushing straight, it means there's some mischief there. It's a matter of who was creating the mischief, which they often can't interpret correctly. And I hate it when they take a punt.
The other side.
Very famous area of the ground, this, around about where John Preston kicked that wonderful penalty 10 years ago. Coming on as a replacement. Here's Dan Carter, lifting it up towards the post. It's a beautiful kick again. Second penalty goal by Carter, 11 points to 6.
Well, it was nice to see some of the crowd actually clapping the penalty from Dan Carter. So there's some sportsmen here as well.
Now, no guessing where this might go. Let's have a look. Richie McCaw lines it up again. This time grabs it. Just got a little more leeway that time.
Hands off,
Not
Rock.
shirking though. He wanted it. Now Wepu gets it away to Taliava,
That's okay.
who is running in a rather isolated area. Now here's Carter. Up to Sivivadu. Room for the flying left winger. Almost to the halfway line.
Hands off. 6.
Cleared away with big Greg Rawlinson
Hands off. 7.
on the 10-metre line as the All Blacks set
Hands
it.
off.
Wepu gets there and sets it off to Carter. Here they go again, looking for the impasse. Now he got it away. Chris Marceau,
Hands off.
it
Don't
is
go.
as
Don't go.
the All Blacks. Again, Wepu shifts the short pass. Right on the halfway line.
It's all right.
And the All Blacks going forward will get the put in.
Well, just muscling it up. Marceau, ball in hand a couple of times. He's a good muscler. Not quite being able to clear it. Sivivadu had a chance. He had a chance on the outside. He decided that he had no support on the inside, and he opted to bring it infield a bit. This is the end of this movement. This is Marceau.
Same again. Concentrate.
Good body
Crouch and
position.
hold.
And there it is. Well, it was well.
Engage.
I think that was De Villiers who got his hands around it there. Nearly turned over.
Now Marceau detaches, shovels it to Wepu, who did well to take the pass and
Hands
got
off,
the play
6.
at the same time.
It's okay.
Now McCaw. As the Springboks come through and disrupt. Nice pass by Oliver. Got it away to Tony Woodcock.
Hands off. 10.
Replacement prop forward.
Down.
And the All Blacks taking the short route at the moment. Now Wepu clears it wide to Carter. Could open up here. Muliaina, away he goes. They had Rico Gear with him, just couldn't find him. Now it's cleared away by Oliver. Good hands by Carter. The kick and chase. Here they come. Undungani having to get back, and the dive.
That looks like it might be a try to Toyama.
I think it is. Toyama might have won the day.
Well, he certainly didn't. Ndungani didn't get to it first. That could be a brilliant piece of work
Eric,
from the youngster.
You got me?
Yes, I hear you.
If
Well,
you would just
Dan
confirm
Carter.
for me, Eric, who may have got the touchdown, and confirm whether
The
it
kick
was a
through
try or
by
not.
Carter. Let's have a look.
Okay, I check if it's
Undungani
a
had
try or
the head start.
the touchdown. Okay.
So let's see what happens here. This will tell us Ndungani's got it first.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm
Might
over
have
there.
lost it.
Oh, I don't think he held it.
I don't think. No control, I don't
No.
think. The All Blacks haven't gone back to halfway.
He stole it, but he couldn't quite keep hold of it. But Daniel Carter, once again, the Springbok line was up flat. There was nobody in depth, and he spotted it. That's the ability of Carter, of course, scanning, seeing what's happening. He just pushed it through.
Another angle on this.
Beautifully picked up too, wasn't it? Off his bootlaces. Turiava showing a bit of speed there.
I suppose this will be a 5-metre scrum to the Springboks.
Yeah. neither player really has got control of this. Sitting up on his shoulder, isn't it? And yeah, I think
I wouldn't award
they
that.
lost it forward. All the players are looking up at the screen.
I'll tell you what, who's the 2-0?
Alan?
Yes?
It's Knokon black.
Goal? Yeah, okay.
Frenchman
Scrum,
Eric Darriere.
5 green.
It's a shame it's not the bloke who's at Eden Park, really.
Forward. If green.
I tell you what, this bloke here ought to get it right. He's sitting on halfway, Tony. We're down on the goal line.
That's actually
Equally as
ridiculous.
good now.
We can hardly see down that end of the field.
Just come out. Here's the mark.
He could be sitting in a bunker 500 miles away and still get it
Come
right.
back, please. Come back, please. Crouch and hold.
Yeah, well, I wonder why that is.
It's okay.
So play resumes. This 5-metre scrum. Pressure on the Springboks as it comes back to Dupria, and he makes a good clearance. This is well outside the 22. And there he is, very keen to play in front of his home crowd here at Loftus. Not only that, very keen to get a try. Well, he's done it already.
Guys, I don't think the wind is going to be as big a factor in this game as we thought it was. It seems to be dropping away. So at the moment it might just be favouring the All Blacks, but probably not for much longer.
So the throw coming from Anton Oliver. All Blacks heading towards the back. Being deflected on the Springbok side. Chibalika can't grab it. They're playing advantage All Blacks' way. Now they get some support there. As it comes for Wepu. Long pass to Muliaina, who's got himself up. He looks dangerous today.
He does.
Coming up from fullback. Ball was lost by the All Blacks at the base of that ruck.
Bok ball.
Awkward pass. Looking to get it wide here. De Villiers, bit of room here for Habana. Kick and chase. Rawlinson tries to tidy up. It's still loose though. He's got his arm out the Springboks way. And a bit of pushing and shoving off the ball. But it was lost forward by the All Blacks.
The All Blacks have got to tidy that ball up around the fringes. It's causing them a lot of trouble. I think they're the only team that's really going to create tries. The Springboks are just looking to apply pressure and maybe force mistakes. The All Blacks just not able to clear the ball away and get themselves into any rhythm because they're not getting regularity of good possession.
Take some time out, please.
Just an injury break here with Osteron, a little bit slow to come back. Chance for Richie McCaw to
Keep your number one out.
have a chat with the troops.
Don't lead in.
Best 23 minutes of the season so far.
No.
But they're only down by 11 points to 6. One try in it so far.
Yes, they'd want to score a try though, I'd imagine, before half time. And they certainly look dangerous when they do move it.
Well, I think CJ Punderland is the man. Yes, it is.
Yes, been a change. BJ Borta on in jersey number 3.
And test debut too.
Crouch and hold.
BJ Borta, call me Brendan. I see in the paper.
Engage.
So we'll call him BJ.
Stay bound, 7.
Cronje disrupted at the back and he lost it forward. So a good All Black scrum.
I think that was a Puri Wipu little nudge with his left foot. It's a cheeky little
Watch
nudge.
your binding. Watch your binding. Crouch and hold. Engage.
Good stable scrum.
Wepu clears it off to Carter. Carter drops it off to McAllister. And now the loose forwards get there. And a little knock on in there. Just bobbled forward. Marsoe and McCaw together.
Keep your binding, 7. Crouch and hold.
So let's see how this new lineup in the front row. 2 props out of the game already. CJ van der Linde and also Greg Somerville.
Don't go too early. Don't go too early. All Blacks, don't go too early. Crouch and hold. Engage.
Dupria, this time Cronje. Dupria kicks again. And it's a pretty useful kick too.
Oh, he's a fantastic kicker, this fellow. He got them out of trouble and now he's got them into a very good position on the field.
South Africa on the line.
Because he knows this ground so well, Nisbo.
On the line.
Yes, indeed he does. Remember the Blue Bulls.
Yeah, okay. On the line, South Africa.
It's a big part of their strategy, obviously,
Hold on. Wait, you're coming back. Let's go again, please.
is kicking the ball when they win it. And
Through the line out, so.
he's obviously adept at it.
Ali Williams standing just out of this line. And now he comes to join. And instead it goes to Rawlinson, but it's not a good throw again. It's playing advantage. As the All Blacks lost it forward. Now Dupree gets it off to Butch James. Jacques Fourie, again the arm is out. It's just for a knock on.
Okay.
Yes it is.
No advantage. Knock forward over here.
Well, trouble in the All Black line out. Not able to secure the last two throws.
Well, that was just hotly contested, that one. I think he had hands on it, Rawlinson, but just couldn't take it cleanly. It's just
Big scrum now.
good disruptive work by Matfield, really.
Crouch and hold.
Well, it was, and the last one too was on form, was pretty similar, I thought.
No. Engage. Straight in on the angle.
Well, he's got the new man,
Straight in. I want you straight. You.
BJ Borter.
I've asked him.
You wouldn't think a guy coming on for his test debut would intentionally try and drive in on the angle, would you?
Yeah.
No.
I was just thinking about the
You've got to
logic.
concentrate harder. No, I'm not.
Not too many referees have been props, Murray.
No, I guess not.
Yeah.
Anyway, New Zealand battling at line-out time. Let's see how they go this time.
Oliver again goes short. He gets it back, Anton Oliver.
Sorry.
And good leg drive takes
Hands
him
off South
inside
Africa, yeah.
South African territory. Wepu away to Thorne. Ruben Thorne with good support there from Richie McCaw.
Oh, beautiful ball.
Now Wepu across to Carter. Not a lot of depth on this kick as the All Blacks come through onto it. And it's been nicely taken down by Montgomery. Now it's back for Cabana. And that's a very useful kick. Not out though. Plenty of distance into it. Now Muliaina. His kick is too far as well. Easily controlled here by Butch James. And he puts it into touch finally on the 10-metre line, Springbok territory.
Well, this gives New Zealand another crack. So the last three unable to take their own ball. It's a major
South Africa out of this
irritant, of course, if you can't win your own set play ball.
Well, they were a bit lucky on the last one too, because it was actually knocked down by one of the Springbok forwards and bounced up nicely for Anton Oliver.
Boy, they are contesting.
That throw was delayed, though, I thought.
Lucky not to be done for a balk, Murray.
The Freers go to kick again. This will land just on the All Black side of halfway and bouncing the Springboks way. De Villiers has it now. Chibalika taken down by Dan Carter. Big Osteront on the charge. Lays it back and now it's lost forward.
Oh.
And the All Blacks should be able to force this, and I think they'll
Take the scrum.
take the 22, or maybe the scrum back.
Well, he hasn't got the knock on. He's missed the knock on.
Yes, it wasn't an advantage at all, was it?
No, that's very poor. That's very poor.
So here's Montgomery bringing it back. Nailed in a good tackle by Gear, just on the All Black side of halfway.
It is.
Now cleared out by Dupree to James. Passes to no one at all. Now it's with De Villiers as the Springboks try and reassemble. Their best ploy really has been the kick from Dupree. This time it's going to be a kick by James. And it's not a bad one. Well, it's not a bad one, I guess, because they can put some pressure on the All Black lineouts.
Which they've been doing very effectively. 5 now.
Wait. Get the line out sorted.
Let's just see who the target is here. It's been either Williams or Rawlinson. And I think the Springboks have read it very well. Again, Williams standing out. Now he joins. And this time they go to McCaw. Much better option near the back. McCaw.
Off the back. Coach.
And he's got another penalty.
Yeah, they're up inside the 10.
He doesn't play any advantage.
Run was just lurking with intent, but no, you're right, no advantage at all.
None at all from Alan Lewis. I don't think he knows the advantage law.
It's okay. No.
It's a fantastic kick.
It is.
Yeah, spiral punt. Well, it was beautifully taken, McCaw. There's one thing about line-out forwards with lifting these days. You still shouldn't expect to just be able to let the ball land in your arms. You've actually got to rip it out of the air. Rip it away from that centre point from the opposition's grasp, and McCaw did that effectively.
It's a full All Black line out this time. But Oliver throws to, and Rawlinson takes it in.
It's okay, it's okay.
See, those guys were coming in from the side, offside. The ball was definitely still inside.
Now Wepu for Carter, heaves it across for Toiava. Very quickly to Muliaina, looking to get on the outside of his man, does so. Gives it off to Gear. Here come the All Blacks. Rico Gear lays it back. Chance for Toiava as they get very close. Springbok defence holding. Only just though.
Out wide. Out wide.
Slowly for Gear. Now he gives it to McAllister. Wider still to Carter. Another kick. And it's going to be a bit big, is it? No, they're charging for it. Tialata! Tialata! The big prop forward scores the try.
A highly unusual try. A prop forward on the outside with a kick through from Carter.
Where's the other one on his jersey?
That was amazing. I mean, one would have expected a winger to be out there catching the ball on the fall or winning the race for the ball, but it was the prop who won the race, the tight head. Remember, he's moved from loose to tight. So they had to go on the outside. Muliaina was outstanding here, slipped the tackle, kept alive. Rico Gear cut on the angle, which he does so well, and then he set it up. It took a little bit of a while here. It was slowed down from Wepu, who's, Tuiava it might have been, but this one here, have a look at this. Chip with his left foot, beautifully placed over the goal line, and Tialata, yes please.
Oh, Greg Rawlinson, boy would he have loved to have got a hold of that.
He was right on his shoulder, of course, with two tight forwards chasing. Well, All Blacks back in the race.
So a first test try for Nemiai Tialata. And Dan Carter has a chance here to put the All Blacks in front. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. And the kick is good. So the converted try. Tialata gets the try. Carter converts 13-11. They were just lining up. Any one of 3 or 4.
And look at the opposition. In fact, I was looking for the opposition. There wasn't a winger or a back there at all. There were 3 tight forwards, and that's the reason.
It was all in slow motion.
Yes, it seemed that way.
I thought Carter had kicked it too far for a moment.
Well, out in the open, you hardly see a prop forward with his legs pumping, do you? I mean, it's just not the thing.
Change of tactics as Butch James kicks this one away down to Sivibatu. So Richie McCaw has a rest from kickoffs.
There it is. Stay on side. 6.
In goes Carter. He's going to make a kick. And boy, the distance they get here at altitude is phenomenal.
Yes, wonderful kick.
Jacques Cronje trying to find it. He's got it now.
There's a pass in midfield, yes, moving the ball, South Africa.
Getting it as wide as they can for Montgomery. He drills it. Wants someone to go back and cover, so he chases up. Muliaina. Now here's Marsoe. Thumps past one tackle. Nice pass up to Gear. Now this should open up. Left and right. He can give it to Ali Williams. Oh, he ignored him. Now he gives it to Muliaina. Here's Toiava. He's put it down. All Blacks have butchered a try without any doubt as Dupria clears. And he'll have to go back for the knock on. Well, they butchered it twice, really.
Yes, I mean, it was definitely, it should have been a pass from Rico Gear to Ali Williams on his right, and I think Williams would have gone the whole way. But even so, it was still alive with Muliaina having a run. And a reasonable pass to Toiava, who would have scored.
Keep it up.
Well, that's a bad mistake from the young man. Brilliant work from Chris Marsoe. Bumping off the tackler and then unloading the pass. That is magnificent.
Engage.
Gear did well, but he was oblivious to the fact that
7.
Ali Williams was on his right.
7, I've asked you.
The only one chasing Toiava there was Osdurant. Who was going to win?
Yeah, well, look at the anguish amongst the New Zealand supporters.
Well, while we're seeing this, the All Blacks have just been penalised. another scrum penalty.
Percy Montgomery, test number 80 for the Springboks today.
You'd be thinking of Chris Marceau now.
Don't go in, one.
Bumping him off.
Springboks not having too many problems in the lineouts.
Don't go, don't go.
Durant delivers the pass. James is going to drill it high. Not too much pressure here unless it bounces back, which it doesn't do. In fact, it might even go dead. Yes, it does. So back they go. And that really was a pretty clueless sort of a kick from Butch James. It means that there's a scrum way back in Springbok territory.
Well, All Blacks contesting Ali Williams. Getting very close on that occasion. At the box.
Crouch and hold.
Certainly having an advantage in the lineouts today.
Crouch and hold. Engage.
Big scrum, South Africa.
Handed back by Marceau, straight to Wepu, but he got away from it. Wepu tries to run past James, who holds him. Ball sitting there, and Rawlinson came charging in.
That's okay.
He did well, Rawlinson, that time.
Wepu now for Carter, looking to change the direction. Heaves it away to Rico Gear. Needs a bit of support. Been knocked away by Smith, and he knocked it on. Tell you what, very lucky to get away with that. If that pass had been made, Carter had a lot of space on the inside.
Better scrum, much better scrum. That's good. Make sure we're steady.
Well, off the run, putting a lot of pressure on Mia Tialata on that last scrum. Let's have a look this time. Yes, and again.
Use it.
Wepu for Carter. Just drops it onto the ground again. It's going to bounce, and it bounces up. And fortunately for the Springboks, they get a hold of it with De Villiers.
Oh, it was a turnover.
No advantage.
So it was knocked on before.
Thank you.
It's effective tackling when you can drag the guy down, the opponent down, and twist him. Well, it was knocked on there by McAllister. And look at this tackle from McCall. I'm not going to see it.
Crouch and hold. Engage.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Stay bound.
13-11 to the All Blacks. Back to James. A lot of kicking from the Springboks. And this time around about the 10-metre line, All Black territory.
Well, I think it's one of the discussion points this week about the Springbok team. How much ability have they got to create play,
Here's our line.
to move the ball, to make a break? It seems to be, their strategy seems to be around the kick for territory and put pressure on the All Blacks, who, if they could move it away from that point,
Hang on.
there seems to be so much
South
space
Africa.
as soon as they move it away. But
Africa, Captain, I'm not going to ask once more now. Be a straight free kick.
Out of the throws. Messi line out again. And it's not coming the All Blacks' way. Dupree for James. Now De Villiers. Well held.
Release.
He's a tough man to put away, Jean De Villiers. Good scrap going on here for the loose ball.
Take a scrum.
And he's decided to give it to the Springboks. They took it in. But the All Blacks very competitive.
But once again, a line out against the throw. South Africa turned it over. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the introduction of Chris Jack.
Crouch and hold. Engage.
Half-time very nearly with us as Cronje for Dupree. Now Jacques Fourie heaves it out to Ngani. There's a little bit of space out there on the right wing from time to time. Good All Black defence. 15 out from the 22. Away goes Dupree again as the siren sounds. Springboks looking to mount one last challenge here in the first half.
And the All Blacks have got another injury warrior. Toyava's down.
Again, the All Blacks holding up in defence.
McCaw's got the turnover there.
Now Wepu, away goes Piri Wepu, has a bit of a dab himself on the 10-metre line.
Down.
Anton Oliver goes in to help out at halfback,
Off
and
his feet.
it's a penalty.
Straight down.
Let's have a look and see
Wait, now, wait.
Toiava.
Yes, he's limping a bit. He
Off your
just
feet.
twisted it though,
Stay
I
up.
think, Tony. I don't think there was any other body involved.
No, he's just trying to walk it off at the moment. It doesn't look too bad. Initially he went down. Now Carter's going to have a shot at goal here.
You hear the crowd. Well, of course, it's a hell of a kick, isn't it? It's 60 metres.
Well, the way he's striking the ball, Murray, I don't think the distance will be a problem.
He's rolling in and we're coming up like that.
Maybe just judging this breeze, which is a little bit tricky.
What's it? He's rolling in and just going like that. I'll have a look.
This is Don Clark stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed. Pierre Villepreux
Let's have a look.
kicks one of these.
Last act of the first half of this game. Dan Carter, 60 metres out. Hit it beautifully. It's got the distance. Oh, that is fantastic. Dan Carter kicks a phenomenal penalty goal right on the half-time break. Is that a smile I detect on the face of Richie McCaw as they leave the field? The All Blacks leading by 16-11.
And full of intrigue and interest, isn't it? South Africa really hitting their straps early in the game, upsetting New Zealand. But New Zealand slowly clawing back from a difficult start and getting back into the game, scoring a try, and now kicking a goal on half-time to go into the lead. Well, it's been a great first half.
2 tries scored in the game. The first by Dupria for the Springboks. They led 11-3 at one stage. Then Tialata got a try just before half-time, and the All Blacks have come back and they lead at the break 16-11. Loftus Versfeld and Pretoria, and the All Blacks leading at half-time by 16 points to 11. Springboks got most of the scoring underway. A couple of penalty goals, the first by Montgomery, the second by James, and then Furi Dupria scored a try. It was 11 points to 3, but Dan Carter has kicked 3 penalties and converted the try scored by Namia Tialata. 16 points to 11. And let's have a look at the highlights. And the Springboks early on got the ball wide. Ndungani made a good charge here. The All Blacks appeared to have it under control. In fact, McCaw seemed to win it, and he did. He dropped it on the All Black side. Wepu looking to clear it, but Ndungani got through, and somehow it bounced away, and Dupria was able to score the try.
Yes, actually, it was a very good try for South Africa. Watching on the replay now, they'd got wide. They certainly got space on the outside, but they didn't get enough men there compared to McCaw, who recovered it. But then really, no one on that short side now. Weepu was in at the ruck and maul. There was no one there, no line of defence.
Now the All Black try, kicked through by, well, this was a near try in actual fact. It wasn't given in the end, and it was the kick through by Carter. Toiava and Ndungani, neither of these two players had control of the ball. It's on the shoulder there, and it bounces clear, and no try was scored, but it was a near thing.
So that was the near try, not the near try, which is next.
Well, here it is shortly. And as the All Blacks get it wide, again Carter drops it on the boot. Tialata, Rawlinson, there's a few of them there. In the end, it was Namia Tialata scoring his first test try.
And he's delighted too. Yes, Namia Tialata on the outside sprinting. Look at him sprint, look at him go. Whoa.
Any one of 4 All Blacks could have scored that try, but Tialata got it. 16 points to 11. Time, Murray, to have a look at the stats in the first half.
As I lose the screen, but New Zealand behind on territory, about square on possession, but the interesting one to me is ruck and maul turnovers, 4-2 to New Zealand. South Africa certainly an advantage in the lineouts, where they're ahead by 8-5, and 3 of them, of course, have been on New Zealand throws. That's a real concern there, and that'll be good for South Africa in the second half if they can continue putting pressure on the New Zealand lineouts.
So there it is, beautiful afternoon here in Pretoria, a try apiece, and the All Blacks lead at the break 16 points to 11.
That's right.
50,000 fans at Loftus in Pretoria have seen the All Blacks grab a 5-point lead at halftime, 16 points to 11. players not yet back on the field. So let's go sideline. Tony Johnson with one of the All Blacks not playing today, Doug Howlett.
Yeah, thanks, Nisbo. Well, Doug, boys under a lot of pressure right at the start, but seem to be getting things together quite nicely towards the end of the half.
Yeah, too right. I think, that start that the South Africans really got them up, and they started with their tails up straight away.
You were expecting that?
Yeah, too right. But, we managed to claw our way back in, and, the second half we can sort of play down the right end of the field, keep our mistakes to a minimum, and finish off our opportunities. We'll be looking good.
Do you feel that the All Blacks are the team that's most likely to create try-scoring chances from actual play?
Yeah, I think so. If we look after the ball in our half, I don't think the South Africans will be able to score a try from set plays.
It's a matter of tidying up some of the little mistakes?
Yeah, I think so, and I hope the lungs hold out. It's been pretty physical out here, and as the game goes on, our fitness will tell, hopefully.
You'll be a little bit worried about the speed shown by some of those forwards. That Nemia Tialata, he should have a number 11 on his jersey, maybe.
Yeah, they were lining up there. Both him and Greg Rawlinson were fighting for that try, but I'm glad one of them got it.
So do you think they can finish the job off, Doug?
Yeah, I think so, and I'm sure Graham's telling them the game plan at the moment to sort of play down there and play our game.
Okay, thanks for talking to us, Doug.
Good one, thanks.
So there we are, Doug Howlett, and of course the All Blacks needed 2 replacements in that first half. An early injury to Leon McDonald, so Isaiah Toiava replaced him, and then Greg Somerville, about halfway through the first half, he went down as well, and Tony Woodcock came on. So only 5 replacements now available in the second half for the All Blacks.
It's interesting listening to Doug Howlett at half-time. I mean, he obviously said, turning with the wind, it looks like New Zealand's going to try and play the game inside their half. So there'll be a bit of kicking, I would imagine, from Dan Carter. Really interesting to see. The other thing that I thought was quite amusing, he didn't seem to think the Springboks had ability to score a try from set play. So that's a classic, and I think he's probably right. Look at the look on their faces. They knew it was a great try, a great kick.
That fantastic kick at the end of the first half from Dan Carter. And that'll be one that'll be talked about for some time. Admittedly, it's at altitude, but still 60 metres. It's a massive kick. So the All Blacks are out there, the Springboks returning, and it's all on for the second half. The first of 2 test matches, of course, next week in Rustenburg, which is not too far away from here. So both games at altitude, and then the Wallabies come over in a couple of weeks and they also play at altitude at Ellis Park. Try scorer, Nemia Tialata, he's wearing the number 1 jersey, but he's now back on the tight head side after Somerville left the field. 16-11 at half-time.
Right to left. Okay, Philip.
Referee Lewis looks at the watch and says, let's go. Second half here at Loftus. Kickoff is made down as far as Dupria, who kicked very well in the first spell, and he's got rid of that one too smartly. And the first line out of the second half,
Just
which
on
will
the
be
line,
thrown
New
to by
Zealand.
Anton Oliver. It
South
has
Africa.
continued to be an area of concern.
Yes, they had success in the last
On
the last throw, I think it was, right at the front, where Ali Williams jumped at the front. And Williams in the middle this time, but of course they moved right at the last moment to outmaneuver.
It's a full All Black line out, lobbing it towards the back, or thrown it straight to South African. Pierce Spies took it easily, so that one broke down.
Good indeed, that we didn't even jump.
Dupria again using the kick. They've used it a lot. This one not far enough and is easily claimed by Williams. So the All Blacks have it back.
Stay on, green.
Possession virtually handed over by the Springboks. Carter heaves it wide. McAllister coming on the angle. Right in the centre of the field.
Hands off, green.
Now Wepu gets it wide again for Carter. Once again keeps it low. It should sit up here for Dupria. Looking for Montgomery. Right out in the middle of the ground, Montgomery. He's going to drill it away. Over the head, no, it's beautifully taken by Rico Gear. He puts it onto his boot. Montgomery waits for the bounce. And got the pass out quickly to Habana. Oh, good work by Reuben Thorne. And that was a tackle that needed to be made because Habana is so quick.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, it was good cover defence.
So
Rico Gear opting for the chip ahead rather than to have a go. And Habana, this is an outside break. But well covered, wasn't he? He wasn't going anywhere but down.
Oliver throws again. Thorne takes it.
So that'd be a relief for New Zealand. Take one cleanly and set up a drive. That's Oliver with the ball now. Move to the back.
Smuggling it to the man at the back.
Steady as she goes, I'd say.
That's one.
Not going very far. Has to be just a little bit careful here. Wepu wants it now. And away it goes for Carter. Carter, long cut-out pass. And away it goes to Sivivatu in a bit of space. Kick and chase. This will be interesting. Gummy across was the Zabana, and he saved the day, and he's got a kick off too. So the ball's still there for Carter as he comes ghosting upfield. Away to Masoe, running very, very hard. Lays it back. Now Wepu works it across. Carter back in position. Now Thorne trying to free the arms.
Go away, 5!
As Durant goes in, might be a bit of a turnover. No, he's got the arm out All Blacks way. So he's got to play an advantage as Wepu goes through the gap, lays it back. No one to lay it back to though, and so he'll have to go back for the penalty.
Over.
New Zealand slow to the ball twice there. Reuben Thorne making a great little break, setting it up and nobody with him.
Now Sidovini Sivivatu is the latest casualty. And,
okay.
Well, he's been plagued by injuries this season.
Time out.
So there's Reuben Thorne planting the ball desperately and knowing there's nobody there except for Wepu.
It's that left knee, I think, for Sivivatu.
Just 3 back reserves today for the All Blacks. Well, that's normal, I think. Already Toiava is out there. Jimmy Cowan and Sam Tuitupo are the other two. So
he's okay.
He's bounced back.
Hold on.
Reuben Thorne, who led the All Blacks here in 2003 when they had that record-breaking win, 52 points to 16. And a former captain, of course, Anton Oliver.
Guys, off you go.
He's captained the All Blacks in South Africa successfully. So the value of experience.
Just while Carter's lining this kick up, Nisbo, Leon McDonald confirmed it's a hip muscle injury. It's given him some problems in the past. Not quite sure how serious that is. Also with Greg Somerville, it seems to be around that Achilles lower calf injury. And again, it would be 24 hours before we know how bad they really are.
So Carter to open the scoring in the second half. And he does that. Another penalty goal by Dan Carter. That's 4 today for him. 19 points to 11.
And they do look like a formality when he puts the ball on the deck. And of course, this crowd have been seeing that sort of goal kicking for years. This is where the revered Nas Botha comes from. I see he still holds the record in first-class rugby over here in South Africa for points.
McCaw waits and runs straight up the middle. Richie McCaw tries to lay the pass back, realised that there wasn't anyone there and just flicked it one extra.
Move away, move away!
And it's in the arms of the Springboks. Now it's with Butch James. Across to Cronje. All rather slowly done though.
It was, and across field.
Dupree again. Now Big Os Durant. Just looking a bit ponderous, the Boks. They need a bit of injection of pace. Now they've got a chance. Ndungani. Montgomery coming up from fullback.
Stolen.
As the ball comes back, stolen all right.
It was Rico Gear.
And boots it away by Piri Wepu. Gear is leading the charge. Butch James, he only just got it. Gear's got him. All Blacks getting there slowly. There's 3 of them there at the moment. But the Springboks have got back in defence. Dupree. Spieth got caught now. Ndungani running into trouble. Almost closed down by Masoe. Kicks it away downfield. Here's Reuben Thorne going back after it. But not too much drama as Muliaina finds himself in space, and here comes some real pace. Sivi Vatu, now they should be able to score here. It's away to McAllister. McAllister must score, or somebody else will. It'll be Luke McAllister. They cruise in, and Luke McAllister gets another one.
Well, I wondered when Ghani kicked it ahead, I thought that's counter-attack material, but it did find space, I must admit. And then Reuben Thorne drew Muliaina, and Muliaina was magnificent, wasn't he? He ran straight and hard, and then he drew the defence and threw the perfect pass. Let's have a look at that. Watch how he opened it up. Outside break, beat one, drew the second, bang, Sivi Vatu, outside, and this was an easy, well, a very hard thing to defend actually, so it had to be a try to McAllister, really.
Look at the other black jerseys. McCaw, Carter could have scored it. Well, I guess you would have called that obstruction if there'd been a Springbok within Kiwi, but there wasn't.
In fact, was it Oz Durant was the only guy that was jogging back over the goal line at the end there.
Graham Henry's going to the bench. Greg Rawlinson leaves, and Chris Jack is on, wearing jersey number 18.
Let's have another look at this. Draw and pass, McAllister.
Yeah, it was interesting that actually McAllister, when he got the ball, he had Toyava on his outside. So he had so much room to move, he decided, I'm going to have a go myself. Couldn't go wrong, really, I suppose.
Job well done by Greg Rawlinson. Chris Jack into the action already, number 18, as he takes down the kickoff. 26 points to 11. 7 minutes into the second half, and the All Blacks exploring the blind side. And the touch judges the flag up.
Touch. Just one for the train spotters. That try brought up 10,000 All Black points in Test rugby. I know someone will be interested in that.
Beautiful, Tony.
Oh, I have to write that down.
Apparently France did it first.
Okay. So it's all on the Springboks now. Got to find a way back somehow. De Priya, to James, de Villiers.
Hands
so
off,
far
All
the
Blacks!
feared midfield combination of de Villiers and Fourie hasn't achieved much. And he's got the All Blacks here for playing the ball on the ground.
Release, I've asked you. Leave him, leave him.
Up off the ground.
Leave him. 17. I asked you to let it go.
It's only Woodcock. So it's well, it's a chance for 3, and they'll take it.
Oh yes,
So you've got a penalty there.
You'd have to take the 3.
I asked him to let it go.
26-11, take it up 26-14. Big right arm drive into Woodcock. Now
Okay, thank you.
Why should he let it go?
Why should he?
Why should he let it go?
And that's what Woodcock shook his head when the referee said to him, I asked you to let it go. But when a referee says that, what he's doing is he's preparing everyone to accept there's going to be a penalty.
Yeah. Here's the kick from Montgomery. And it is successful. 26 points to 14. It looked as though Tony Woodcock was on his feet.
Yeah, so Alan Lewis is trying to justify that he's about to award a penalty, which is absolutely ludicrous. Let it go. Let the contest continue.
Sure when I asked. One before you.
High kickoff from Carter. Well taken by Victor Matfield. Now books James. Spiralling it off downfield. Good connection, good kick.
Haven't really seen much of them. The Springbok tactics, when they get the ball in the back line, they're either kicking the ball or they're just moving the ball wide. There's no real attempt to try and manipulate the All Black defence with dummy runners or cut-out passes, anything like that. As you said before, Nisbet, is quite pedestrian, quite predictable.
Yes, really they look to be, Tony, a team playing without very much confidence.
That's why I think that try by McAllister was so important in this game.
Quickly off the top by the All Blacks. Here's Carter having a go. Carter chased. Carter still going. He's got some support. McAllister holding it up.
Great defensive tackle there by one of the box.
All Blacks looking for quick ball. Tialata has it. Driven back. but he's managed to flip the ball. Now Sivivatu, dangerous from broken play, puts his head down. Springboks have him.
Turned over.
Now it's been snapped up by the All Blacks.
Oh, I don't know if he was over.
Now here's a chance. Muliaina gets back. Taken by Habana. Problems for the All Blacks way back on the Springbok goal line. I think it's Chris Marsoi. Knock on by Carter.
No try. Short.
Oh, this doesn't look good either. This looks like a knee problem, and he's in real trouble.
Hey. What is this?
So a bit of a bust up.
Well, Williams could be in big trouble here because the referee saw him throw the punch.
Oh, but it wasn't a punch, Tony.
Well, he's through something though, Murray, and this bloke, he loves those cards.
I've no idea what started that. Hold on. Just keep quiet. Just keep your arms to yourself. It's been excellent so far. There's no need for it. Okay? Let's just get on with your own game and you get on with yours. So let's scroll.
Oh. Crowd of screaming blue murder. But I don't know that the punch actually connected, did it?
Here we are.
No, what actually happened, I was watching it off camera, and he was being held. Ali Williams was being held, and Ali threatened to punch him a couple of times, but actually didn't punch him. Oh, he did punch him. Well, he did land it.
We've got to play. Yeah, we've got to play.
Marsoi getting very slowly back to his feet in the in goal.
Crouch and hold.
Play's got to carry on, so the All Blacks are one down in the scrum as Cronje tidies up, gives it to Dupria. Now Furi, Undangani in a little bit of space briefly, lays it back. Dupria once more on the charge. Was Spies hit hard though by the All Black defence.
Marsoi's gone.
Now it's Osteront out in midfield, but easily contained. So the All Blacks will have to get Jerry Collins onto the field shortly. As Dupria again delivers to James. Now this time it's been knocked down by Montgomery.
First one.
Well, here comes Jerry Collins in 19. Chris Marsoi, he tried to get back into the action. He took a few paces and then that knee just buckled.
Time out.
He very nearly scored a try, Tony. In fact, I was surprised they didn't even have a look at it.
Well, yeah, he seemed to be very certain of his decision, Alan Lewis, to be fair to him. He was right there on the spot too, and his contention was that the ball had been grounded short of the line.
It actually looked like that, but it was a great effort by Marsoi. The way he just stretched out, I thought he was going to score, but there was certainly a try opportunity there. Oh, here we go. He just, yes, well, good decision by the referee. He tried to, oh, gee, it was close, wasn't it?
He desperately rolled it, that little extra centimetre or so.
I saw it, short of it.
I think I remember a try being awarded for just exactly that not so long ago, where it was just sort of rolled with his arm, and it was awarded. But anyway, it wasn't awarded, play continued. South Africa attacked quite well down the left flank, so it was helter-skelter stuff. But it's an interesting situation now with Marsoi going off. So we see Jerry Collins coming into number 8, where he used to play all his rugby till he was a young man.
So some real injury concerns for the All Blacks in this game. Wepu got away, got the pass to Gia. Wepu again under pressure, but he's done well again. Just that strength as he managed to slip the pass.
Chris Jack did well in too.
He's a tough nut, Puri Wepu. Carter floats it away downfield. Montgomery gets an awful bounce. Has to go back and recover. The booing going on. That's looks like the old days at Loftus.
Yeah.
Percy's from the coast.
Well, that's right. That of course used to be why they'd boo a player. Anyone from the coast, of course, wasn't welcome up here, really, particularly if he was an English South African, not an Afrikaner. But I think they might have moved past that now, most of them.
Okay, play on.
Yes, real concerns now with 3 All Blacks off
the
field, and those injuries look very much as though they won't be lining up next week.
Don't come in the side. 5 South Africa.
This is slow
hindmost foot. Hindmost foot.
Wepu back for Carter, and the clearance made by Dan Carter, safely in touch. I noticed, Tony, that Jimmy Cowan is up on his feet, so might be another change perhaps shortly.
I'd imagine Graham Henry would have been planning to use his bench in the second half anyway.
Hold on.
But he's been forced to. But yeah,
Just
Cowan, one of the players getting warmed up. And just a bit of a chat going on. I think we've got a touch judge on here at the moment while we're seeing this.
Just get attention.
But it's a very interesting phase of the game that the replays show clearly New Zealand's problems at line-out time.
John Smith causing some concerns, and apparently he's got a breathing problem of some sort.
Well, he's got the ball into the line-out safely, into the arms of Matfield.
Yeah, it's been dropped though.
Yeah, it's been knocked on.
Stop.
They're looking pretty ragged in a lot of their play, the Springboks. I mean, the All Blacks have been far from perfect, but they just look a team that's just down on confidence, down on ideas, how to get out of this little rut they've got themselves into.
Engage. Stand up. Wait. Yeah. Take your time. Time out. Just wait for my call. Slow it down a bit. Yeah.
It does show you the value, though, doesn't it? You know, that a lot of people have criticised this policy of rotating players, but you're bringing guys who've had plenty of Test match experience, even this year, into the action, and so the players who go off injured, you could argue, their influence isn't missed.
I want you to come up early on the bind.
Well, you only have to look at Jerry Collins coming in as a replacement. He's played number 8 in Test matches before.
Crouch and hold.
Taliava's played in midfield. And of course, Tony Woodcock.
Stay bound.
This has been knocked down and knocked on.
He was fine.
Even so, good play by South Africa. Who was that?
That was Petri Wannenberg.
It's okay, no, he was
it was
okay.
well anticipated. And the scrum, of course, was turned, which opened it up, exposed the opportunity to charge it down. They did. So New Zealand will be trying to keep this scrum straight, I'd say. And they haven't achieved. They should take it left when that happens.
Well, that was a bit of scrum from the Springboks.
It's a little bit of an experience, maybe, Jerry Collins there. The moment something like that happens, I think you've got to take it that way, take it the way it's turning, and punish. Probably the most effective way to stop a team spinning the scrum is to punish.
Crouch and hold. Engage.
The ball was lost.
Off the back goes Cronje for the Springboks.
It's okay. Holding.
And didn't release.
Brilliant work by McClure again. Gosh, he's won a lot of turnover ball today. And really, he's operating against a team that doesn't have an open
There
side
goes Jerry
flanker.
Collins out there. Sivivatu sprinting for the corner. And the All Blacks are in again.
Sure. Yeah.
Jerry Collins
Sure.
took it quickly.
Timeout.
And he set up Sivivatu.
Outstanding work, Jerry Collins. Quick thinking.
Well, he's gone upstairs for this. Goodness knows why.
But quick thinking, you're dead right, Nisbo. Nice pass, and Sivivatu spotting the goal line. And one thing Fijian likes when he sees the goal line is to score the try.
John Smith is arguing the point here. I'm not sure what he's arguing.
He's arguing about the penalty, Nisbo. He wants to know why the Springboks were penalised at the breakdown.
Was the ball grounded correctly, and was he in touch or out of touch?
Okay, I'll check it immediately.
So he just wants to confirm, I think. He's well clear of the opposition, and there's no problem.
Alan?
Yeah?
It's a clear try.
Clear try. Thank you.
So the try is given to Sitiveni Sivivatu, the third for the All Blacks, and his 9th in 9 Test matches. Have a look at Jerry Collins. Took it quickly, got away from a feeble tackle, and then gave it to the speedster, and it was all over.
Yes, it was. What I didn't realise the first time I saw it is how many players Collins beat before he cleared the pass. So Sivivatu also was very, very much on the job. So it's good quick thinking. It stunned the crowd. Their last glimmer of hope, I think, is gone. I shouldn't say that with 23 minutes left on the board.
Carter from the sideline. And this one misses. So Jerry Collins, only on the field 2 or 3 minutes, has set up the flying Waikato winger Sitiveni Sivivatu.
So yeah.
And at this point, well, it was all over. Dan Carter's just missed the conversion. First miss in 16 attempts against the Springboks this season. Wepu, again the ball knocked down. And it's a penalty. This time Wepu takes it quickly and away he goes. Another one knocked down. This time it's Jacques Fourie. Got his pass off, gave it straight away though to Williams. Now there's an opportunity. McAllister puts the foot down. Got some support from Muliaina. They won't pull him back either. Another one.
Bye.
Well, it's good rugby. Quick thinking once again. Too much speed, too much support for the Springbok team. And that's a bonus point also, which they'll appreciate. But McCaw, I think, started the whole thing, and then Ali Williams, well, intercepted, he read it too. There he goes, and he tried to give the pass, which he did. I thought McAllister might go all the way, but no one was going to stop Muliaina in that position.
Playing today in his 9th Test match against the Springboks, Mills Muliaina. 15 Test tries, and the All Blacks really starting to take control here. We're not quite at the halfway mark in the second half, and it's starting to blow out. It's 36-14. Here's Carter from the other side of the field. No problems this time. 38 points to 14. 4 tries to 1. And more changes, Tony.
Yes, 2 changes for the All Blacks. Kevin Mialamu in 16 for Anton Oliver, and Jimmy Cowan on in 20 for Piri Wepu. Andre Pretorius has come on for the Springboks as well, and he's replacing Butch James.
Louis, have we got order now? Everyone on and off?
So the restart made by Pretorius, and Jimmy Cowan takes it. Pass up to Richie McCaw, just near the 22.
Don't go, don't go! Don't touch him!
Cowan having his jersey held in. Now he gets it back to Carter. And again the spiralling punt downfield, this time not out, taken by Cronje. Rips it across to Andre Pretorius. Now it's with Montgomery. Drops it on the boot, but straight into the arms of Rico Gia. Now the race is on, and Williams is offside.
Offside, 5.
Just went a bit quickly, Ali Williams.
But again, just another example of how impotent the Springbok backline's been this afternoon. And what was the point of that kick from Percy Montgomery?
Yeah, absolutely no point. He had to keep on going, didn't he? His number 8, Cronje, kept the ball alive. He gave him an opportunity, gave him some room.
Take the penalty. Okay. Back 10, back 10.
Yes, I think when a fullback in today's game stops attacking, then you've got some issues, because the strike power from the fullback is such a wonderful place, wonderful thing to have, and such a wonderful place to attack from.
Just off the space, please.
You can see that Ali Williams was a good 3 or 4 metres offside there.
You're being very generous, Nisbo.
Yeah, I was. Smith throws quickly down to Fourie. A long pass out to Pretorius. This time they're getting it wide. Fourie, but Montgomery got through the tackle of Sivivatu. And this is a bit more spirited from the Springboks. Dupree and Cronje walking the tightrope. And he fell off the tightrope and into touch.
Timeout, substitution.
Well, they certainly have lost the spark. You're right, Tony. I think you passed that comment a few minutes ago.
5.
And of course, rugby is a game of confidence. When a team has that confidence air, which this All Black side has, the All Black side has the ability to absorb a little bit of pressure and drop a few points.
Well, changes being made. Victor Matfield off, and also Percy Montgomery has gone, and young Ruan Pienaar, who probably should have been part of the Springbok outfit a lot earlier, he's on and looks like he's playing at fullback at the moment.
Yes, he is a real talent. Cowan drags it out, kicks it away, and Dungani lining this one up. Nice hands, just on his own side of halfway. Here's Pina. He's confronted by a lot of black jerseys.
Release him!
And it's there for the Springboks. The ref's gone down. Bounced up pretty quickly.
Okay.
And here's a chance for Brian Habana. The kick and chase. Ball sits up, still there. Now it's been grabbed by the All Blacks. Kevin Mialamu going into play at halfback.
Gee, the crowd lit up when Habana had the ball.
And the clearing kick made. All Blacks can go back to the 22.
Well, he's one of the most exciting players in the game, but they hardly ever give him the ball.
And so often also,
I have to ask you there.
Tony, when he gets the ball behind the Vanazon, he kicks.
Time out.
That was a great pass, wasn't it, from De Villiers, I think it was. When the ball sat up, it was there for the taking.
Yeah, fine.
17 minutes remaining here at Loftus. 38 points to 14, 4 tries to 1. But the All Blacks will be thinking about those injuries, and they are of real concern. Leon McDonald, Greg Somerville, and Chris Marceau, and they look to be debilitating injuries as well. Here's Ruben Pienaar. This is his father. Casey Pienaar was a fine player in his day. As the Springboks take it into centre field, just in from the 22. Running to the right with Pretorius. Here's big Jacques Ronier. Slipped the pass beautifully to Jacques Ferry. And the Springboks are in. Jacques Ferry gets it.
Well, look at that. They love it, but it was a good try. Ronier was great the way he held the ball up. And Ferry, a little bit of a try scorer, a little bit of an X factor. Ferry, big, strong number 8, holding the ball up for Ferry to go through.
Gets you just there, eh?
Desperate tackle by Ruben Thorne. Tried to knock the ball out of his hands, but not able to do so.
Well, I think the guy that's has made the difference is Andre Pretorius. He's taking the ball to the line. He's also attempting the conversion.
Well, you remember what an exciting player he was when he first hit the scene, Tony.
Well, he's been plagued by injuries, and there was a very curious situation where he was named in the Springbok side a month or so back, but in fact he was still injured. But he's back now, and he's a very good player, and they look better for having him there. But has it come too late?
Well, it has in this game. See the red earth that he's placed the ball on? That's the colour of the earth around here.
Trying to fade it back in. Didn't work though. So the try scored by Jacques Ferry, not converted by Andre Pretorius.
Is that blood?
38 points to 19. It was good work here by the big number 8,
But is
Jacques
it blood,
Ronier.
Michael?
Just held it
Or
long enough
black,
to
okay.
put Ferry into the gap. And he scored a try, second against the All Blacks.
All Blacks making a change, Nisbo. Luke McAllister's day has come to an end. Sam Tuitupo is on in 22.
Kickoff made by Carter, right down the centre to Pretorius. Quickly gets it off to Pienaar. And his kick will be into touch.
So the lineouts favour South Africa significantly. New Zealand having lost 4,
No.
but they have snaffled one back against the throw.
Come back.
Lost 4 of their own. Now Chris Jack's on the field.
I think that's the All Black bench.
That's it.
All 7 of them gone.
Yep.
Chris Jack, Ali Williams, the primary jumpers. There they are. Williams takes it. Good ball.
Straight to Williams.
Okay.
Here's a charge by McCaw.
Yes.
Holding.
Now the problem there was Jerry Collins tripped over by accident actually as McCaw took the ball away.
Let him go.
And the second man was too slow. Just Woodcock also was taken out just before.
And don't think there was too much drama about that. Good work at the breakdown by the big replacement loose forward, Petri Vandenberg.
Number 4 on the pecking order. Juan Smith, Jovan Neerkerk, Pierre Spies, Petri Vandenberg.
I'll probably throw Scott Berger in there as well.
So the Springboks giving it a little bit of air now as Ndunganu is taken down. The All Blacks hunting for the loose ball.
Stay on.
And they might have it too.
Stay on. Advantage.
Jimmy Cowan had to have another shot at it, but the Springboks are offside.
Hands in. I just wanted to delay it. I thought you might have gone away.
Last time they were here, 52 points to 16. They scored 7 tries in that game in 2003.
Well, Nisbo, I remember this ground as the place where the All Blacks lost in 1970. It was a bit of a heartbreaker for a young fella listening in the middle of the night, but they haven't lost a game here since.
That's right, yeah.
They've won, this will be 4 on the bounce against the Springboks. I think they also beat Scotland here too, didn't they, in a World Cup quarter-final?
Yeah, they've lost the odd provincial game over the years here.
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
Keep your space.
Cavaliers lost here in '86.
Who?
Yeah, who? Loose ball. 10-metre line in Springbok territory. De Pria, now Pretorius, off to De Villiers, quick hands to Fourie, and the kick bouncing away downfield. He didn't want it to go out, Jacques Fourie. Wanted to put a bit of pressure on Muliaina.
Yeah, play on.
So this time, let me see. Ali Williams in the middle of the line, Chris Jack beside him. So one of them will be lifting. And of course, the taller you are, the better you are as a lifter generally. I'd say it'll be Chris Jack's turn. Let's have a look.
I think this is Petri Vandenberg, isn't it? Receiving attention to cut to the head.
As the All Blacks win another clean one, here's Collins. Slipped the pass back. Well, it was untidy. He's been hacked away downfield. But in fact, it was lost forward by the Springboks. Certainly Andre Pretorius has brought some enthusiasm
Hold it. You need
into
someone now.
Springbok backline.
Time out. Stop blood.
And
Michael Louis.
Well, it looks like Solly Chibalika is going to have to come back on the field. This is where it happened. Should have been penalised for not releasing in the tackle. And might have just caught a stray sprig on the way through.
Stay square for me.
I think it was the knee, wasn't it, of Chris Jackson?
And hold. No. Engage.
I got a feeling Matfield might have gone back. It was going to be Chibalika. Oh, that's putting some real pressure on Cowan, and he's been penalised.
Hold it, stop!
Meantime, there's a bit of a to-do.
Just stop them. 16.
I don't think the referee
16.
shouting stop will mean much.
Stop them. Stop them. Just stop them. Just get up, please. Get up.
Stop them.
Get up.
There's no stop laughing at the
Please.
referee.
Get up, please. Just move away. Move away.
You'll need to get a report here.
Move away. Move away. Move away,
Wow.
please.
Let's see if the touch judge saw anything. Let's pick it up.
Couldn't see anything that started that.
Okay.
Something happened on the floor.
Okay.
And you saw the rest.
Okay.
Well, that
Okay.
was a lot of
I'll
use.
take the 2-2s out. Two. Captain. Yeah, just come on. Wasn't even between us. Yeah, I don't know what went off there. Nor does my touch judge, right? The penalty is going to stand as is. Just keep your composure, please, and your discipline. And your team as well. Okay? Understand? Stop. Holding penalty.
So the penalty stands, and Pretorius will kick it out, and the Springboks will start from a line out. 10 minutes remaining. And here it is. I don't think this is going to tell us a great deal.
Well, told us nothing.
So here come the Springboks. 5 metres away from the All Black line, hoeing into this one. Very slow for Dupria. Here's Montgomery. Nice pass! And he's got another one, Jacques Ferry. And the Springboks aren't dead just yet.
And that was a beautiful try. The line that he ran, Ferry, the straight line that he ran, and the offload. Have a look at this one in your replay. It was very impressive. So they're back in the race. Well, the game of rugby can turn so quickly.
Once again, there's been a little bit of a scuffle away from the ball. But this was just beautiful work. It was converted immediately, by the way. I think by drop kicking it.
Well, they want every minute, of course. There's 9 left. De Villiers, what a pass. Lent through the tackle, top. And the flat run, or straight run.
Well, I think one of the Springboks is going to be spoken to here. He's got Richie McCaw coming with him.
Come with me.
And he's going to speak to both captains.
Which he's just done.
Now it's much more serious. Do you understand? I'm not going to have rugby turning into this. Do you understand? Now, hold on. You've got to take responsibility for yourself, more so, and you yourself. Okay? No, I'm not even going to have any questions from you. Understand what it is. Do you understand? I am talking to him as well, and you. I'm talking to you too, and him. So decide what you're going to do, because the next time the consequences will be different. Do you understand? For both teams. Both teams. Both teams.
So he's laid down the law, Alan Lewis. And we didn't see exactly what happened there. There was a scuffle going on while the try was being scored.
Well, McCaw's on the deck. And obviously, obviously getting some attention.
Well, McCaw certainly was. Kick made by Dupria, and it's a pretty good one. So suddenly 38 points to 26, a 12-point margin, and 9 minutes left.
A 12-point margin with 9 minutes is not a hell of a lot, is it?
Space for yourself, please.
Well, there's a bit of anger, a bit of feeling. The All Blacks have to keep their composure, that's for sure.
Dangerous time too, Nisbo. This is where the lungs are starting to scream a bit when you're not used to playing at altitude.
It was noticeable that Reuben Thorne got the troops together as a former captain.
Richie McCaw, stand up.
Had a good chat to them. Now Cowan. Carter. Very high kick. Very high. And nicely taken by Pienaar. Heaves the pass out to Ndungani. Looking to step his way through. Springboks still controlling it. Now giving the ball a bit of air, and they look a better team too when they do it. And then a kick made, and I'm not sure why, quite frankly. And Muliaina tidies up.
Well, of course, there's another match next week, so there's a lot of psychology involved in who finishes this game on top. At this stage, the Springboks have bounced back big time. They're now giving the ball a bit of space, a bit of air. They've got a bit of confidence. And if they can finish on a high, it gives them a chance. Remember, they're fighting for survival.
4 tries to 3 now. As the line out is 1 and 1 quickly. Really starting to come at the All Blacks in the last 15 minutes of the game. Up the centre. Good work by Kevin Mialamu. Now Dupria for Pretorius. Collins made a big tackle, chance for the All Blacks, kick made. Now the chasers are coming, Pienaar going back. Gear is breathing down his neck, and Pienaar can only get the kick away, and it's in touch pretty much where he kicked it from. And once again the All Blacks showing in broken field play. Have a look at the tackle here by
Collins.
Collins. Yeah. Ball jolted away, and then Carter had it, and Gear onside. Pienaar had no options.
No, the spot tackle by Jerry Collins was great, wasn't it? He anticipated the pass of the ball, and he just hit him ball and all. So New Zealand would love to score here, I would say.
Nialamu lobs it in. Tipped on the All Black side, but it's not easy for Cowan.
Hands off, one!
They've got it. Here's Jerry Collins rampaging, fires the pass up to Tui Tupo. Knocked it on though. Pass was a bit high and Sam Tui Tupo just couldn't reach up and drag it in.
Collins trying to break the tackle and offload at the same time. It's 2 and 1, 2 for 1.
Crouch and hold.
I think this is a sign for Jake White, though, isn't it? What he's got to do with this team in the future. He's got a couple of players he just cannot afford to leave out of this side.
So Cronje gives it to Dupria. Furi. Support coming from De Villiers. Good tackle by Tui Tupo. Again there for Dupria. So across to Spies. Now starting to give the ball some air and looking a better side for it. Spies takes it in once more. He's got the arm out here. Maybe the All Blacks lost it forward. Here they come again. Pina having a dab. That was a penalty. He's going to blow the whistle. Now Victor Matfield takes it smartly. Furi got away from Tui Tupo. And the kick, Muliaina looking to cover it. Worried about the bounce, but it's okay. And he's able to bang the kick back down. And that'll come to around about the 10-metre line. But quite an impressive finish here by the Springboks.
But they have kicked away way too much ball this afternoon, haven't they, Nisbo? Some of their field kicking or kicking for position on the field or tactical kicking has been quite poor, given the opportunity for the All Blacks either to clear or to run it back at them.
Yep, I think they've just shown in the last 5 minutes that they can run with the ball.
Well, Pretorius is the man, isn't he?
Seems to be, yep. John Smith throws very quickly off the top. There's no wasting time there. Speaks across to Pretorius. Now Ndungani. Ridden to the ground by Toyava. And the ball is still there. 5 out from the 22. Richie McCaw arrives on the scene. Good scrap, and I think he's turned it over.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Oh, it's turned over again.
Hands off, Ken!
Oh, and again.
Here's Collins. Puts it on the boot, Jerry Collins. And the All Blacks coming. There's only All Blacks there. Rico Gear. See you later. Another try for the All Blacks. Rico Gear gets number 5. And that's the sign for some of the crowd to leave.
Well, the psychological advantage that I was talking about that would be with the Springboks at the end of this game has just been nullified effectively by a very clever little grubber kick by Jerry Collins. Enrico Gear, well, the man of the moment, of course, with his speed. No one was going to take him. But there was a massive, I think there were 3 or maybe 4 turnovers here. Well, that was 1. Let's have a little look. That's 2 there. And then it came back 3. And Jerry Collins spotting there was nobody in deep defence. Enrico Gear couldn't believe his luck. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Carter converts the try. 45 points to 26. So the game is now safe. It wasn't that safe with a 12-point margin. And what a clever piece of play by Jerry Collins. He set up 2 tries since he's come on. And Rico Gear hasn't had a lot of the play fall his way today.
Is he on?
Has galloped away to score under the posts.
Time off.
It might be
time on.
Time for another couple of replacements. Springboks. No, they're going to carry on. Tip back on the Springbok side. Couple of minutes remaining. Collins putting Dupria to ground. Now Pretorius looking to step his way through. He's clever on his feet. Look at Andre Pretorius. Then he threw the pass and the All Blacks have grabbed it. Now Muliaina into the wide open spaces. Montgomery getting back, hoping that it goes into touch. And it does.
Oh, now. You think he was? He had someone back with him.
Thank you.
Well, I think Chili Boy Rabelli coming onto the field.
That's a good name, isn't it?
A test debut as we look at
Pretorius.
the brilliance of Pretorius, but then he threw the pass away to Jimmy Cowan.
Jimmy Cowan, yeah. I don't think he was exactly waiting for it, but he certainly recognised it.
Correct, Louis? Number
Chili
one,
boy
green.
Raleigh on
Number one,
replacement hooker, and they put up the number one. He's come on and replaced Auster Run, so that means John Smith has gone to prop.
What's the bet? He likes his food hot, this guy.
Well, he's been a great player at age group level, Murray.
First throw in is a good one. Oh no, it'll be a penalty. The All Blacks, I think, attacking the player, Johan Muller, in the air, so...
Oh, yeah.
Big Oz is still on the field. 80 minutes at 6,000 feet above sea level.
Well, he's actually just walking off there, Murray.
Close. So it's a 19-point margin here for the All Blacks.
On the line, guys.
But,
on the line.
You get the feeling you'll see this bloke at first five in the number 10 jersey
yes.
next week.
He's signalled his return.
All Blacks.
They've got lots
He's
of players
right, there's five.
in this country that have a sort of a burst of speed, and he's one of them, Pretorius. Brent Russell, I saw him last night. Remember him? He's got the same sort of acceleration.
Yep. 30 seconds remaining in this game. Again, the Springboks doing it very quickly, looking to use their backs in the final stages of the game. Ndungani feeds it up to Pina. He's dumped across the sideline. Referee blows for time, and the All Blacks will take the win. 5 tries to 3. It wasn't easy for them. There's been a few injury concerns. They'll front up again next week in Rustenburg, but the All Blacks have the victory here at Loftus by 45 points to 26.
Well, it's had a bit of everything, this game. Quite incredible. A real ferocious start by South Africa, putting pressure on New Zealand. They were constructive at the beginning of this game, and then New Zealand fought their way back, and at the half-time break, New Zealand well in control, and then they went away a bit in the second half, the first 20 minutes particularly. But South Africa, to their credit, they bounced back. They showed good courage and a capacity to turn it on. 2 outstanding tries scored, back tries as well, scored by South Africa, putting them back in the race. And then New Zealand said, well, look, we're not finishing this game on the back foot. We're going to score, and they did. Enrico Gear dotted down, and then that just ran out the game. But really a hell of a game to watch here at Loftus.
So 16 points to 11, the All Blacks led at half-time, and they've taken the victory here at Loftus by 45 points to 26.